Hi everyone again, and we are just about to start the next session, which is going to be presented by Annie from TikTok, and we have Annie in the studio here. Hi Annie.
Hey Igor, hi everyone. How's it going?
All good here. Very excited for your talk. What have you prepared for us today? Some amazing TikTok videos.
So I'm gonna talk a little bit about. I'm gonna show the experience of TikTok in a glance a little bit for whoever didn't download the TikTok yet. Maybe we can get some more organics during the 30-minute presentation, and a bit about how to acquire users and engage in TikTok. And we talk about China, which is a bit different than TikTok globally, but this is what we're going to focus on during the presentation.
That's outstanding. I can't wait to hear like all the information about TikTok. So good luck to you and keep it up with your presentation.
Cool. So hi everyone. Good to be here. I know it's a bit strange to have it from home or from office, or like I drove to WeWork just to make sure that I have my hotspot and the internet will work. So my name is Ani. I'm the first TikToker in Tel Aviv, and enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed the short video. It took me a bit of a fight to argue with PR of which one we can actually share with everyone. But I want to introduce a little bit about myself. So Ni Hao is it's kind of where my connection begins with China, and Shalom it's because I'm an Israeli, of course, based in Tel Aviv. Born and raised in Jerusalem, so it's a small countryside part of Jerusalem named Mevaseret. And then I was working for Iron Source for almost 6 years. Been part of the Iron Source office for 3 years. I just got back like really early January. Like I felt like I was skipping COVID, but then we saw that everything happened around the world. So I got connected to China in Iron Source. I don't speak Chinese. I speak survival Chinese, and there's a way to say Coke Zero when you go to a restaurant. So this is the Coke Zero slide. This is Kiwi. She's a world traveler. She has her own Facebook page. She have, of course, a TikTok page. Traveling around with me. So this is mostly about me. Joined TikTok Tel Aviv February 2020, which is very uh, like a while, like not a while ago. And we started working with the local game and app developers to start monetizing TikTok globally. So I'm going to talk a little bit about TikTok in a glance. Whoever knows or doesn't know about TikTok, I'm going to share some numbers, a bit of what I can. Talk about user acquisition with TikTok. I'm going to talk about China and Ocean Engine because just to have you guys to understand. So TikTok is TikTok in global, and there is Douyin, and which is the, let's call it the Chinese version of TikTok, but to really differentiate between the two apps. A little bit about trends in gaming, what COVID is doing to mobile landscape in general. And if you have questions, by the way, you can send them via the chat. The team here in Tel Aviv is also part of the summit. So feel free to send them on the group chat and we'll refer later. So exponential growth is something that everyone is talking about. COVID-19 in the most like not in a positive way, but when you're talking about the growth of TikTok or ByteDance, we talk about personal people. 150 countries with offices. Tel Aviv recently opened, so yay for us. I'm going to say it in a very glance, but after the first Q of 2020, TikTok globally has around 805 million monthly active users, which is crazy. Cannot really share it on the presentation, but I wanted to give you a taste of what's going on. Sensor Tower, thanks to our friends at Sensor Tower. So generally speaking, just to show the growth of TikTok as an application, this is excluding China, but definitely end of 2019 and then Q1 of 2020, of course, COVID-19 had a huge impact of the growth of many applications globally, but TikTok kind of blew all kind of the records during Q1 of 2020. We reached close to 2 billion globally. So just mentioning, because we were talking about the growth opportunity during COVID lifestyle, that's the upsell about the unfortunate pandemic, but good to have that people trying to reach and connect to each other on such crucial times when we're inside. A bit about mobile and video. I think everyone is well aware, whoever is in the summit, but 79% of the world mobile data traffic will grow by 2020. People spend around 40 to an hour on video on mobile. By the way, we have some data about time spent on TikTok within different markets, and it changes. But generally speaking, it's over an hour, and which is like it's crazy in terms of engagement, session depth, and what we actually can do with users. Keep in mind that the thing about TikTok, it's real people and real creators, and that's why the feeling of being part of like a community really had a huge impact during the pandemic. So we're talking about user acquisition and what we need to do. So I kind of want to emphasize the fact of best practice regarding campaigns, and we'll talk about that right now. I wanted to share before we go into the best practice about the look and feel of the user flow. If someone doesn't have TikTok or doesn't really understand how it works, happens to everyone, don't worry about it. But generally speaking, when a user opens the app, first of all, you hit like the major points of the brand and top view takeover. This is mostly to people who want to play around awareness. When users firstly open the app, it's like a first impression kind of a thing. Then you go into the For You feed, which is most of where the users spend their time. And the fourth video will always be like a native ad. We call it the in-feed ad. It's where you meet most of your like the place where most advertisers will play a role in, and this is where you most engage with users. So best practices on TikTok, and again, I'm gonna make sure that you guys differentiate between TikTok globally, TikTok ads, and to Ocean Engine and user acquisition going to China. So a bit about TikTok when we talk about globally TikTok ads. So campaign creation is something that's super crucial when we talk about user acquisition. How many campaigns and how many ad groups and about duplications and creative and so on. Definitely whoever is working with TikTok and has a lot of titles, application, geos, and so on, it's good to utilize our API. It will save a lot of time for the ad operation team, for the user acquisition person, and since we are a new player, this is a new traffic source. We are different than our competitors, so definitely we need to have the ability to test as much as we can on the go. So campaign creation in general, then we want to talk about ad groups. The ad groups can go at the level of the title, the geo, have a few creatives, which is super important. So generally speaking, we always offer our advertisers to open mass ad groups, and that's why I started with an API, because we really need to make sure that we open as many as we can. Each ad group should hold 3 to 5 creatives, and creative is, creative is king, and creative is everything. And since TikTok is fairly new as a platform for advertisers, and since the experience of users as a user, as a user and also as an advertiser, creative is really important of how it looks within the flow of the user flow when I showed you on the slide, and how the look and feel of the native ad to actually help you engage with users. Everyone knows that ads in general, it's something that we talk about how good they are in terms of revenues, but we also talk about user experience. Just as a note, if you take a guess, but TikTok, like today, monetize around 8% of the users because we really care about the experience and what we give to our clients. So refreshing creative is also something that is super relevant. We always need to invent ourselves from the start and refresh them. There is no one saying that this is what is working for you. This is the only creative that will work for you. For example, if you take a creative that you created for Facebook, for Google, for Snapchat, working with ironSource or AppLovin, most of the time it will not work for TikTok. That's why we need to make it and create it before we launch in a campaign, making sure that the creative has the best ability to actually engage with users. So targeting capabilities, of course, you want to target the audience that is relevant for your application, either if you're an e-commerce or an app developer. So target age and device and geos, of course. So something to keep in mind when you're creating your campaigns. Uh, of course, we want to optimize towards KPI. We're always talking about we don't want to duplicate whatever you already created on Facebook, Google, AppLovin, Unity, and so on. You want to make sure that this is a new source and we're starting from scratch. We're discovering TikTok. So really important to say in general what is your KPI, but definitely to work on a plan or a strategy of user acquisition strategy that will will be more of a fit for a new source. It doesn't even matter if it's TikTok or someone else, but when you start with the new source, definitely we have to have a fresh user acquisition plan. Same goes for KPI. A/B testing on the go. So in terms of different markets and creative, and as many ad groups as we can for different titles within different markets to gather as much data as we can to then really go and analyze and understand the opportunities we have within TikTok. Leverage the new pool of users. This is mostly talking about, in China, you leverage users that you never reached before, but also on TikTok, since the growth is very, very big globally, you kind of meeting users that you haven't met before if you run campaigns on other platforms. I'm going to talk a bit about our competitors in terms of new users and about engagement. Something that we kind of gather here, what's going on under COVID vibes and COVID lifestyle, a bit about what we know of gaming on TikTok, and then, and again, I talked about, I'm going to show 2 slides about usage and engagement. So this is a great slide taken by App Annie. This is talking about US audience, but definitely want to talk about engagement. You can see here time spent for users, it's in seconds, but you can see that TikTok in general, people spend over 300 minutes a day. It really changes between market. In the US, you'll see a different time spending average of user versus one in Germany, for example. But just wanted to show the overall engagement and users staying within the app versus Snapchat. You have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, we have Reddit and Pinterest. So good to see, first of all, that users do engage in social networking apps. Video is taking over. So short form of mobile, what TikTok is offering today for users, you create your own content, and then you can actually share it with people. So generally speaking, if you're asking me, TikTok is like real life and real people. Like I feel when I go on Instagram, I will only share the best meal or the best experience that I had. But if you are on TikTok and you look at the For You feed, you see people that actually share their real life. It can be about painful stories and all up to like a cool recipe that you want to share with the world. Something that really impressed me when I was kind of joining the app as a user, by the way. TikTok brings together audience that cannot be reached elsewhere. This is very, very unique offering. You can see the overlap or like users that are not overlapped within TikTok and the competitors. So definitely incrementality in terms of user reach. I think numbers kind of speaks for themselves. Again, it's the source by App Annie, but good to understand that when you have it, we're in a new source of traffic, definitely cool to show that we're not overlapping tremendously with other sources. Definitely opportunity for user acquisition, fresh users. Fresh users tend to engage more with ads, and this is what we're looking for when we talk about user acquisition and targeting ROI at the end of the day. So about COVID lifestyle, generally speaking, I think everyone felt the need to be more, online because you stay home, you cannot go outside. Some countries suffer even more as we go. China kind of go back in Beijing area, go back into stay inside and work from home. and we really every country is kind of dealing with that per the growth of the pandemic within the country and the region. But generally speaking, people spend more time on mobile, less on laptop, and kind of trying to avoid TV. I remember when pandemic started in Israel, I was all over the news. I haven't watched the news since I was in the army, I think. But then you want to know what's going on. It kind of got me down. So you go back to your tablet, you go back to your mobile, and generally speaking, you reach out into the apps that will get you, let's say, will cheer you up. When I first opened TikTok, I didn't have an account actually. I was just a viewer. This is what's crazy about TikTok in terms of engagement. But I find myself like 40 to 50 minutes just like browsing the For You feed. It's funny. Most of what's going on there, it's funny. The great thing about the For You feed and the algorithm of TikTok, it actually gets you to see content that you're really into without even knowing that this is what you like. But definitely remove whatever is not relevant for you. The impact of social distancing pushed users to connect on all costs, like people turning to online gaming, to short video forms, just to feel connected, to stay together. So generally speaking, we see a growth of people like consuming more on mobile. If it's gaming, you kind of try to find, you do like your own competition with your friends, who is going to beat who in all type of game genres. You try to connect with your cat and with your dog, and I showed that on the main video. You do whatever you can to stay happy, to stay connected and share with everyone. So that's generally speaking, and the impact of social distancing. So I think everyone kind of felt it during the pandemic. Of course, if you have kids and you're stuck at home and so on. Um, about the gaming genre, because I know I'm like definitely the team in Israel. We work a lot with the game developers. So generally speaking, in the US and in China, this is the top gaming genre of advertisers monetizing TikTok and Douyin in China. So action and adventure, shooter, hyper casual, puzzle, and action and platform. So just keep that in mind. If you haven't started doing user acquisition on TikTok, as a game developer, definitely time to leverage the opportunity and the momentum with the growing with the big growth of TikTok globally. I'm gonna move to talk about China. I think this is the most important part of the presentation. If you're a game developer, if you're an app developer, everyone wants to go into China. China is a market, first of all, big because big numbers. It's a big country. Number of users is almost unbelievable in terms of numbers. And I know that even in my past working and talking, people want to know how to do user acquisition to reach not just China, let's say Japan and Korea, but you don't know how to do it. You don't know if you need to change the game in general. I need to change my game or my app to be fitted to like, let's say, the Asian market, or I just need to localize my creative. I just need to do like a cool video. Does the user understand the game flow if some of the assets are still in English? So just for you to get a better understand, when you do user acquisition with let's say with ByteDance is the mother company, right? The mothership. So there is TikTok ads when you want to do user acquisition with TikTok globally, and there is Ocean Engine if you want to tap into the Chinese pool of users of ByteDance products. Okay, ByteDance holds not just Douyin, which is the Chinese version of TikTok, but it's a different app. They also hold all kind of applications that can get you to a touch point with a great pool of users in China. I must say that this is the value proposition, and what other competitors doesn't have is how to reach the let's say a fresh pool of users with the Chinese market. So something that definitely, if you want to leverage and you want to go into China, we are the team and we're the right people to tell you how to do it. So let's deep dive a bit about. I chose to talk about Toutiao and Douyin, which is like very big applications in the Chinese market, and let's see what we have to offer here. So Toutiao and Douyin, and a bit about other products owned by ByteDance in China, and Pango. Whoever doesn't know, pangolin is the cute animal that everyone talking in regards to COVID-19. Leave that aside, but Pango is a very cute animal. But Pango is basically the TikTok audience network. So the SDK network combining the supply and demand. So we talk about how to leverage that as well. Just in general, when we're talking about the Chinese market, gaming advertisers, where do they go when they want to advertise their games? So you can see that number one, in Ocean Engine, 47% of gaming advertisers sorry, 47% of advertising generally are gaming. Uh, Tapping into Douyin, Shigua Video, and Toutiao. So these are like when you open a campaign, you can target these apps. 40% of game advertising is working with Tencent, WeChat, and QQ, which is super one of a big of competitors in China, and definitely Pango, which is also part of Ocean Engine. But we see a big increase of game advertisers tapping into China, of course, with the help of the team both globally and in Beijing, how to both go into Pango and into Ocean Engine generally. The rapid growth of Ocean Engine. So just for you to understand, Ocean Engine, the platform, is in Chinese. I know it's hard. We don't know. We don't understand. We do offer some kind of let's say, of a UI in English and also in Japanese, just for the side note. But definitely we have the team. I have one person in my team speaking Chinese based in Beijing. The other teams have also people speaking Chinese. And we have the team in Beijing to actually support our clients that want to go and tap into the Chinese pool of users. We also work and partner with agencies to help you get into Ocean Engine if you don't want to do it yourself with your team. The growth year over year is just showing that, in generally speaking, more of the game developers want to tap into China. We're talking about non-Chinese developers going into Ocean Engine and trying to get exposed to the Chinese users from the ByteDance overall products. So the growth is really, really big. By the way, you see the growth 2018 to 2019. It's correlated to the growth of the chain, like let's say the ByteDance global offices. So we pitch more about Ocean Engine, we pitch more about Pango. It helps to grow the activity overall. I want to talk about major two, let's call it apps. So Toutiao is the big news aggregator in China. Everyone, whoever in the world you have your own news aggregator. So think about the biggest one. Toutiao covers more than 100 content categories. People tap into the app at least 10 times a day. Think about the time spent within a news aggregator. I know how long I spend in the one that we have here, which is super, super small versus Toutiao. But it gives you all kind of content from just content about news and all the way to food, to gaming, to fitness, health, or whatever you want. So definitely you can reach a tremendous and diversify users tapping into Toutiao. Just about we name them like sophisticated on Ocean Engine. You can actually also target tier cities within China, which is really relevant when we talk about performance and results. The age group you can see goes from the 18 all the way to 41 plus. Gender, time spent on the app, and how many times you pick up the app. This is super relevant when we talk about session depth and engagement. So people, 36% spend more than 30 minutes on Toutiao, and let's say 70% at least go 10 times into the app. Really shows how big of an app and of an impact. Like when I lived in China, everyone went on Toutiao, for example. This is the first thing I always know. In Israel, you go to Ynet, for example. So in the morning, the Chinese go to Toutiao. So this is Douyin. So just again to clarify, Douyin is a different. It's similar but different. It's not TikTok. It's Douyin is the Chinese TikTok. Let's call it just for us, the people who doesn't use Chinese. But Douyin is being used only in mainland China. So you cannot if you are on the App Store or and you are from Israel or from Germany, for example, so you won't be able to download it. You have to be a valid Chinese account on App Store. I'm going to say it again, over 800 monthly active users in China. 23 times people pick up the phone and actually open Douyin and spend close to 70 minutes a day. This is huge in terms of user time spent on the app. So that's again about how to tip into Douyin and to do user acquisition. You understand that people tend to engage with the user engage with the app. Spending time within the app talk about retention and people staying within the app because they don't feel like they're being attacked when it comes to ads and monetization. And that's why, generally speaking, we care about user experience. So just keep that in mind. That's why we're not over. You're not going to see an interstitial going into, for example, going into Byton's products. So just to get the hint of what we offer on the Win. Um, when we talk about gaming and growth around the Douyin platform, so we talk about few buckets. We talk about the gaming videos, so number of gaming videos that either advertisers or user create. The gaming content. So some people only, for example, they do content. They do like a cool video about a great game. So influencers do that a lot, and then they direct the user to a page to read about the game or download to the download page. A number of gaming creators in general, both TikTok and Douyin, they have a marketplace of creators. So in the US, you can see influencers that are very there's celebrities that are influencers. In China, you have the Chinese ones. So generally speaking, people, the creator and the influencers change a lot about towards to gaming content because people tend to look more at games. So the growth you can see generally on Q1 of 2019 to Q3 to 2019. This is just just a slide to show you about more tipping points that you can reach within Byton's products. So we have Shigwa Video is another video platform. We have a selfie app, another camera app. We have an app, you can go and talk about buying a car, reaching on a car, but definitely all kind of verticals that you can get all kind of users within the Chinese marketplace. And Pangle here, which I'm going to talk about right now, also part of the Bytons and the Ocean Engine platform, but Pangle as a network is super relevant to the audience here. So Pangle is the leading advertising platform in China today. The growth starting end of 2017, you can see up until March of 2019. I'm going to say it again in a quick glance: 700 million daily active users, which is a tremendous growth. It's the biggest network right now for China locally. Basically, what they support, it's an SDK network connecting advertisers and publishers, but rewarded video is super aggressive and very, very strong at the network and playable ads. I want to mention that in-feed ads for TikTok doesn't support playable ad at the moment. We are working about it because it has a huge impact on engagement, of course, on IPMs and eCPMs. But you can definitely use your playable ads within Pangle. Pangles right now offer activity in China, in Korea, Japan, and Taiwan. We're working on it's on the verge of opening the tier 1 countries. But definitely, if you want to tap into the Asian users, which are very engaged, they tend to buy within the app. They tend to stay longer. So great way to engage with users on Pangle. Splash ads, native in-feed ads, and the rewarded video and playable. Deeper user interaction with playable and rewarded video. Everyone here in the summit probably heard those two. This is the most and strongest ad placement on Pangle, so definitely to utilize that. Name of publisher tapping into Pangle, so I'm not going to mention the names. You guys know a lot of them, and some of you even attend the meeting, the summit, sorry. So the key takeaways on my part when we talk about generally going into China or how to tap into the points of where you meet the Chinese users. So it's a fast growing platform, of course, in China even more because the numbers are aggressively growing. When I talk about incrementality, when incrementality means opportunities and money, but I also talk about incrementality in terms of users that you haven't reached before, so fresh users. So definitely it's an opportunity. The growth, it equals numbers and money. Creative is king, so I want you to understand one thing. We don't make ads, we make TikTok, okay? And this is the uniqueness of what we offer. We create a TikTok, and with the TikTok video, you actually engage with the users. So we don't want to put ourselves in a position when we make ads, we make TikTok. Campaign creation and best practices. So I talked about that, about since it's an early stages platform, keep in mind that you work closely with your salesperson, with your account manager, of how to do and what to test. So A/B testing on the go. Please note that this is a new source of traffic. Nothing is copy paste by what I did with Iron Source, what I did with Facebook, what I did on Snapchat. Have that the knowledge, of course, because you know what you're looking for in terms of KPI. But keep in mind that we need to test on the go from scratch. Saying again, creative is king. As you know, on TikTok, you need to be very, very creative in terms of creativity. The fact of how the actual video looking, it's something is super relevant. I know that generally when we're talking with Crazy Labs today or Supersonic, we talk about how to create videos that will be relevant for TikTok. It makes a whole difference when you have a video that you actually created to the look and feel and the native look of the infeed ads. So definitely something that we are working on with our clients before to launch the campaign, to actually work support the power design house that clients have, and show them what we have to offer and guide them through the process of having a good creative. So go to China. If you are a game developer, if you are an app developer, you want to go into China, you want to get into a reach of going into China, contact the teams within your region. We can do it. I know there is an issue and a conversation talking about government laws and so on. Still, we have the ability to support you through the process, even if you need to get an ISBN or SEC. We have local vendors to support that. But most important, if right now you're a game developer and you just want to go into Ocean Engine and open a campaign, the only localization you need is about your creative and video. And this is where we go in. We will help you to do that on a fast track. So don't think about I need to redo my application or my game. We'll guide you into the process. So in China, of course, it's an access to unreached audience, because this is something that our competitors doesn't have. The China and the Chinese the Chinese pool of users and our products in China, and the massive reach. Of course, Chinese market is huge. You can also tap into the Korean, Japanese, and Taiwanese market on Pango. So definitely incrementality when we talk about users. You know, in the world of ads, and when we stay on mobile devices, we tend to say ignore. We don't ignore the ads on TikTok. They're really fun. Sometimes you're really into the flow of the in-feed ad. The in-feed the For You feed, that you actually feel it's part of the look and feel. So please don't ignore us. We love you. This is one thing I wanted to show you about TikTok.
Everybody make some TikTok. TikTok. TikTok.
So everybody just go make some TikToks. Remember, we're not making ads, we're making TikTok. This was me, my team here in Tel Aviv. If you have any questions, we're here today, tomorrow. We're in Tel Aviv. If you have any questions, just hit us up, LinkedIn, Facebook, whoever, whatever. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ani. It was a great talk, and thanks for sharing those awesome TikToks. Your team is being very active in the lectures chat, helping people to get along with your platform and the product. Thank you.